Brought to you by All American Wrestling Supply, your one-stop wrestling shop. All American carries everything from shoes to headgear to custom singlets and warm-ups. Visit All American on the web at www.usawrestlingproducts.com. Our All American featured match of the day, 165 pounds. Colt Sponseller, number 8 ranked wrestler in the nation, versus the number 16 ranked Janssen. Two seniors going at it, Jim.
Two seniors, and this should be a high-paced match. Colt Sponseller really gets after it here. He drives with that underhook, and he's got done watching about several of his teammates really not quite give the effort. Of course, they knew it was going to be tough coming in here, but I expect him to really come at this hard. He's really truly he's representing his program here, representing himself.
I had a nice conversation with Colt. He tried to go down to 157. After the spring, he saw the opening. He decided he was going to go down. He did all the right things. He actually trained as a marathoner in the summer, got his weight down. But after a month of wrestling at 157, he just didn't feel the fire. And he couldn't be who he was, you know. And, Jim, you've talked about that. And he said, I got to get back there because it's got to be fun for me.
It's got to be fun. And the guy that wrestles that type of pace that he likes to wrestle, it has to be, it's got to be joyful. We saw that from Cael Sanderson. He wrestled a high pace, but he always had this kind of a smile on his face. Tom Brands made the comment about he wrestles with a lot of joy. That's what you have to do. If you're going to wrestle a high pace match, it's got to be fun for you. You've got to get after it, and you just can't be all just punishing a guy.
He just started smiling. I said, are you liking it better at 165? He says, you just can't even believe it. And he was just like relieved. He's excited. He wants to go out and be Colt Sponseller and get back in there, being an All-American and vie for a national championship. But he had a big smile on his face. He's going to be an undergraduate assistant next year. He's got a couple of quarters left to work with the team. And they've got a regional training center at Columbus at Ohio State, and he's going to train a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, Mike Basillo and some of those others are also helping fundraise. You know, again, for the sport of wrestling to succeed and have long-term success, we do have to take an advantage of our assets. People have been successful in the sport and raise money like what they're trying to do at Iowa, and I guess at Ohio State they're trying to do the same thing for their Olympic training center. But this match has really been both guys, mainly Sponseller, having advantage in ties, but Janssen reacting pretty well. No shots of his own, and that's the type of pressure that Sponseller puts on you.
You got a warning.
Warning on Janssen for Iowa. He's burying his head, according to Gary Kessler.
Well, he's burying his head and backing up, and he's a little bit high, and not doing anything to control the tie. He's got that in. There's a nice high crotch shot. 13 seconds left. He got an opportunity to score. Sponseller locked deep in the crotch. Again, an opportunity now for Sponseller to score.
No.
And no score there. We had an opportunity to talk to Colt about preparing for his senior year.
Well, you know, it's my last year as a Buckeye, and I need to make it count. I haven't reached the goals that I've wanted to reach in my college career yet as try to be a national champ and a Big Ten champ. So just been really in the room, in the weight room, just running, wrestling, conditioning, trying to get the best out of myself, trying to be more mentally prepared and just to reach my goal.
There's an advantage situation for Janssen. Sponseller getting the quick escape. Shot right back in a shot, but this is a nice counter action here by Janssen, and it's kind of sneaky, but he's got an opportunity to score.
Oh, good hip action by Sponseller. Getting out of the trouble there. Now turning it back into a neutral position.
And Sponseller's had some success. He's been ranked as high as 2nd in the country in his career. And I know that for sure, maybe as high as 1st, but in a tough weight class. Gosh, that 65-pound weight class was just a bear last year, so it was difficult to place. And you know, you have one bad match, all of a sudden you're in a consolation match with somebody who's just maybe a top 4 seed. And
here's your summary. We started at 184 pounds. Iowa started winning with Gamble. Then Lofthouse.
Advantage for Janssen. And right there at the critical moment, he just didn't come all the way through, but now he's got potentially a double leg. And again, what do you do here?
2 points takedown for Janssen.
He's got takedown.
This whole first period was dominated by Sponseller in the ties, but as the second period has gone along, we've seen where the scramble situations have been the advantage of Janssen, and now if he can stay in the top position all the way through this period, he's really got an advantage. Janssen wrestling with his shoelaces flat. He's not really driving into the man. Hanging onto a leg, but
well, it's going to end here with no points there, 2-1. And Janssen, we had an opportunity to talk to just a little bit about the personal part of this opportunity for him.
I kind of look at this as an opportunity not only for me to come out and wrestle my match and show what type of wrestler I really am. And I kind of look at me and Kurt competing. I put that on the back burner just because it kind of gets in the way of how I'm able to wrestle. If I just kind of forget that and just wrestle my kind of match, I know I can go out there and wrestle my kind of style and the Iowa style. So.
Well, so far his style he's been difficult to score on in the first period. He's been taking advantage of some breaks and some scramble situations, which really, if you want to sit there and identify, is this the Iowa style? Well, you're not really going back after the guy. He really hadn't taken a good, clean, clear shot on the guy. But let's see how this third period unfolds. So Sponseller will come at you the whole time. There's another shot.
Go around by Sponseller. If he can pick him up and put him down, it'll be 2 for Sponseller, but nice job of separation and getting out of it by Janssen.
Just fought the hands a little bit, lowered his hips, was able to step out of that. This is the action I was talking about, I was expecting in the first period. Both guys.
Well, it's a big match for both wrestlers. For Sponseller, it's a chance to come out and prove that he's back. But for Janssen, it's a chance to notch a win over a higher-ranked wrestler and continue to climb in the rankings.
And what's he going to do off this underhook? Drops right into a single leg. He gets his head to the outside, and Janssen does a wonderful job of cutting the corner on him. And he has a hold of that ankle. This ankle right here that he has a hold of right there is ending up really keeping.
He's losing it.
Yeah, losing that grip, a little hip separation. And right now with 34 seconds left, Sponseller probably wants to stay in the top position. So like we talked about before, you can give up the takedown, but you got to put yourself in a competitive position. And that's what Janssen just did there with a little bit of back pressure coming up to his feet. The crowd's into it.
An escape for Janssen would win the match. Otherwise, they'll go to overtime. And the Branzes, the Zadeks, they're all calling for stalling.
Well, I don't think they're stalling there, but he did try to take him off the edge of the mat. But 12 seconds left. I would expect Sponseller to basically come to the ankle. See how the shoelaces are up? The shoelaces up. Puts a leg in right away. That's a little surprising. A little dangerous. But it worked out for Sponseller. Oh, he's going to get a one.
Does he give the 2?
No, I don't
No
believe he
points. And they'll go to overtime. Woo! We talked about it being our featured match. There's a reason for that. We're in overtime at 165. There's a shot by Sponseller.
Again, Janssen does a nice job of cutting the corner. Sponseller tries to cast across to the other side. Again, he's got to try to keep his hips a little bit low. Lower than they are right now. He's got the double, that's 2.
2 points. Takedown. Ohio State gets their first win. Colt Sponseller.
Hard fought.
Hard fought. There's your winner by decision. 5-3 in OT. The All-American Wrestling Feature match. All-American Dahlimer Wrestling Featured match. And in this match, the winner, Colt Sponseller from Ohio State, All-American Wrestling Supply, the official merchandiser for USA Wrestling and the NHSCA, on the web at www.usawrestlingproducts.com. So Tom Ryan gets a winner. Iowa up 30-3, and we have one more match to go. We'll be back in just a moment.